It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Nemeton Brewing Company in the Netherlands. And this is their Soothing Creek. It's Ritual 3 of their beer series. It's coming in at 4.5% ABV. And it's a Saison special beer. Black bottle cap. God, we haven't done that in a while, have we? Black bottle cap. Everything's in cans these days. So just to go, ooh, black bottle cap. I quite like that. It's like the Real Ale Craft Beer of old. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Whee! Slightly lively. But I always open my beers over the sink. Saisons can be relatively... I mean, this is craft beer. Saisons can be relatively lively. It wasn't a complete bottle buster of a beer, you know. We've seen them before on the channel. There you go. Lovely, hazy, amber coloured beer, 2 to 3 finger white head, good levels of carbonation, quite a lot of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, Saison, it's that style of beer. Let's get the aroma. We'll talk about the Saison style a little bit later on in the review. Its heritage, its tradition, why it was brewed, what it was brewed for. We got all that up here. We'll talk to you about that later on. But let's get the aroma. A little bit of sweetness in there. Definitely kind of farmhouse funky. Horse blanket. Spicy, peppery, kind of slightly tutti fruity like. It smells really good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh yeah. Ooh. That's a really, really good example of a Saison. Really lovely and drinkable. Fantastic, slightly creamy mouthfeel. And a definite kind of that horse blanket, slightly funky. Oh yeah, really good. A little bit of lemon. A dryness, the beer's quite dry, spicy and dry. Enough carbonation there to push the beer round the inside of the mouth to release more of that flavour. I've got this down to a brilliant temperature as well. I've got this down to a temperature where you can still fully appreciate all of the flavours. But the beer is quite cool. Quite a cool beer. Now, generally, as a rule of thumb, I like to have these style of beers not freezing cold. I would never have most beers freezing cold. What I've learned is with these beer machines is that I've learned to really like cold beer again, cold lagers on my kind of Blade and Krups and Perfect Draft, and my Brewfit machine. But it's important you don't get the beers too cold because you start to lose flavour. As soon as it goes below, I'd say 5-6 degrees, as soon as it gets down to that temperature, you're starting to lose flavour. You're starting to lose that complex malt flavour. You're starting to lose the complexity of the hops in there. But yeah, look at that as I roll the beer around in the glass. Really good quality looking beer. and rolling it round like that, you're really able to get a good nose of that kind of funkiness in there. Right, so what am I talking about? What am I talking about? Saison. If you're wondering what a Saison is, the French stroke Belgium farm owners used to make bread, cheese, beer. And some farmhouses in France and Belgium, they used to make a style of beer called Saison. And it's like a table beer, if you like, a day beer, relatively cheap beer to produce. And they made it for the farm workers. So, hot day in the summer, France and Belgium, they're sweating all day, digging in the fields. Lunchtime, they would get a hunk of bread or a husk of bread, a bit of cheese, and a big glass of beer. And that would be enough to drive them on for the afternoon. They'd be able to crack on with their work for the afternoon. But this style of beer that they produced was a Saison. This is the style of beer. And again, it's one of these styles of beer that nearly died away. Nearly disappeared from the history books forever. And it's only been the craft beer revolution that's revived this style of beer. All these sours and lambics. Not so much lambic. Lambic is a big thing in Belgium. Goza. Goza's another style that nearly disappeared. But it's been brought back by keen, enthusiastic brewers, craft beer brewers. And I'm glad, because I think this style is here to stay. It's a beautiful style of beer. This one's in particular is very nice. Big description here. Once the Druids were performing rituals, they also would get a bit thirsty. And then it goes on and on and on about all these different kind of refreshing, not heavy on alcohol, with a funky, full of flavour, a real thirst quenching beer. That said, it's time to enjoy Soothing Creek. With this Saison, brewed in a traditional way, with different types of quality grains added, blossoms and spices, we believe we created just that. It is a lovely, lovely beer. And I want to thank Nemeton Brewing Company in the Netherlands for sending me this beer. Thank you very much, really appreciate it. So I'm going to rate it. Let's get it rated. Looks really good. Look at that suspension in the bottom of the glass. Can you see that? Let me get my mug out of the way. There you go. Can you see that? Suspension there in the glass. Smells good, looks good. Tastes wonderful. Really nice. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!